In the name of God, my name is Mehdi Kordnavasi. We are going to talk about the software architecture and design, chapter 4, reviewing some techniques for architecture and design a software application. Let's start. This chapter describes an iterative techniques that you can use to think about and sketch out your potential architecture. It will help you to bring together the key decisions discussed in this guide, including quality attributes, architecture style, application types, technologies, and deployment decisions. The technique includes a series of 5 main steps, each of which break down into individual considerations explained throughout the remainder of this guide. The iterative process will help you to produce candidate solutions that you can further refine by repeating the steps, finally creating an architecture design that best fits your application. At the end of the process, you can review and communicate your architecture to all interested parties, including the developers, your project managers, stakeholders, and so on. Depending on your organization's approach to software development, you may revisit your architecture many times. During the lifetime of a project, you can use this technique to refine your architecture further, building on what you can learn in the intervening period of spiking, prototyping, and actual development. Here is a picture of software development life cycle. In the orange part, analyze, start, requirements, definition, then specification building, business model identification, and we are in this part, architecture design, then coding and implementing the software unit and testing. Then we will give some feedbacks, integrating and system testing, maintenance, and again analyze requirement definitions, because the software application will change during the time, all the time, because the global market change, software technology change, hardware change, communication technology, networking, and the market, everything is changed all the time. So you need to cycle all of these sections to improve and customize your software according to the situation. Let's to see a short movie, 5 minutes, about the business analyst techniques.
Business analysis is the process of studying a business or any other organization to identify business opportunities/problem areas and suggest potential solutions. A wide range of people with various titles, roles, and responsibilities actually perform business analysis within an organization. There are fundamentally 3 different flavors or levels of business analysis: strategic business analysis, aka enterprise analysis, tactical business analysis, and operational business analysis. Strategic business analysis is the study of business visions, goals, objectives, and strategies of an organization or an organizational unit to identify the desired future. It encompasses the analysis of existing organizational structure, policies, politics, problems, opportunities, and application architecture to build a business case for change. This analysis employs techniques such as variance analysis, feasibility analysis, force field analysis, decision analysis, and key performance indicators to support senior management in the decision-making process. The primary outcome of this work is a set of defined, prioritized projects and initiatives that the organization will undertake to create the desired future. If the initiative includes the development of software using an Agile Software Development Methodology, or SDM, strategic business analysis identifies themes and/or epics and initiates a product backlog. Tactical business analysis is at the project or initiative level to flesh out the details of the proposed solution and to ensure that it meets the needs of the business community. Commonly used techniques at this level include stakeholder identification, interviewing, facilitation, baselining, coverage matrices, Moscow analysis, benchmarking, business rules analysis, change management, process and data modeling, and functional decomposition. In an agile environment, tactical business analysis adds to the product backlog and/or release plans expressed in themes, business epics, architecture epics, user stories, and user story epics. In a traditional setting, the primary outcome of tactical business analysis is a set of textual and/or modeled business and stakeholder requirements. Operational business analysts work on specific business applications. In an agile approach, they are members of the development team and will be heavily involved in user story elaboration and iteration or sprint planning. If they are the stewards of a packaged application, they will deal primarily with identifying how to manage the application parameters to meet evolving business needs. Their primary techniques include meeting facilitation, checklist management, prioritization, process mapping and analysis, business rule analysis, lessons learned analysis, and interface analysis. Few organizations staff all three levels of business analysis, and even fewer use the terminology strategic, tactical, and operational business analyst. In many organizations, quote, business analyst, end quote, is not a job title. In very large organizations, individuals with job titles such as product manager, product owner, developer, manager, subject matter expert, etc., actually do business analysis at every level. In smaller organizations, a single individual is often responsible for all scales of business analysis. Regardless of who is wearing the business analysis hat, he or she may or may not have the title business analyst. The Requirement Solutions Group, RSG, recently surveyed over 1,700 individuals with many different job titles who were involved with business analysis at some level of detail, irrespective of the SDM their organization applied, to identify the tools they most commonly needed. 80% model and identify business processes with tools such as Business Process Modeling Notation, or BPMN, activity diagrams from the Unified Modeling Language, or UML, and data flow diagrams. 75% model and identify business data requirements using tools such as business analytics, entity relationship diagrams, or ERDs. Business data requirements express data elements, entities, types, structures, and user views that subject matter experts need to know to be able to do their job effectively. 75% identify business rules as a routine part of their jobs. Business rules describe how the organization wants to conduct its business independent of the information technology. 75% do user story and end-user acceptance testing to ensure that the delivered IT components meet the business needs. 75% use backlog maintenance procedures, traceability matrices, RACI, or Responsible, Accountable, Contributing, and Informed matrices, to manage product and iteration backlogs and other forms of requirements. 65% facilitates story workshops, release planning sessions, iteration planning sessions, and requirements discovery workshops to identify business problems and express business, stakeholder, and solution requirements. 65% use story points, function points, and other estimating techniques for release planning and project scoping. 55% write business use cases, a specific form of functional solution requirements that focus on the interaction between the technology solution and the people using it. The IIBA is an organization dedicated to defining standards and practices for the business analyst community. A 2008 survey of around 1,200 business analysts asked what specific techniques business analysts needed to do their job. The responses are revealing as a list of topics that those who need to do business analysis work should know. 95% use brainstorming as a tool for business problem identification and solution definition. 92% deal with change requests for managing requirements. 91% need interviewing skills to elicit problems and requirements from stakeholders. An equal percentage apply requirements-based acceptance testing. 89% use visual diagramming techniques such as process models, data models, activity diagrams, etc. 86% depend on a stakeholder list as a tool for ensuring requirements completeness. 83% identify defect/issue tracking as techniques required for their job. 80% facilitate requirements workshops to ensure subject matter expert buy-in and acceptance. Business analysts need many other techniques depending on their responsibilities in a specific organization. Examples include topics like prototyping, impact analysis, surveys and questionnaires, structured walkthroughs, document analysis, test case development, and more. The duties of a business analyst, or anyone wearing the BA hat, are non-trivial. The variety of tools and techniques used are substantial, and the amount of training needed to be effective in that role is significant. Finally, all of those statements apply to you when you are wearing the business analysis hat, even if you do not have the, quote, business analyst, end quote, title.
Okay, at the beginning, we are talking about the scope and time and the cost for each of these steps of the product or application development. Based on the high to spend on each of your design activities. For example, a prototype might only require a few to design, while a complex and fully detailed architecture for a complex application could potentially take months to complete and may involve architecture to design over many iterations. Use your understanding of the objectives to determine how much time and energy to spend on each step to gain an understanding of what the outcome will look like and to define clearly the purpose and priorities of your architecture. Possible purpose might include creating a complete application design, building a prototype, identifying key technical risks, testing potential options, and building shared models to gain an understanding of the system. Let's see a short 3-minute movie about the managing time, cost, and quality.
I'm Jennifer Witt, Director of ProjectManager.com. Well, welcome to our whiteboard session today on managing time, cost, quality. Which one wins? Well, that's always a question and things that project managers struggle with because there's so many things always changing on the project and it's hard to determine which has the priority. Well, the answer to this question is it really depends. So let's take a look in reminding that we're actually managing the triple constraint throughout the project from beginning to end, and that encompasses the scope or the deliverables that we're producing. It also has to do with the cost, the expenses and the budget, the time, the schedules, the milestones, as well as the quality. So no wonder it's hard to determine which one wins because there are a lot of things going on, typically a lot of moving parts and things changing. So how do we know? How do we know which one? How do we know how to determine it? Well, it depends on the industry that one is in. It could depend on federal regulations or mandates that we're required to meet. Could depend on the business drivers, depending upon what the company is trying to do, and also may depend on standards. So where do we find out this information? So there are different pieces of the project management plan, and as we know, the project management plan also has sub-plans. So within that, we have the time management plan, the cost management plan, quality management plan, and then the changes that are continuing to occur are dictated by the change management plan. So all of these things are documented within these plans of the overarching project management plan. So we want to be sure to reference those and document that based on, again, the industry, any regulations, business drivers, and standards. So who decides which one of these wins based on this information? So as things change throughout the project, we take these changes through the change management process. And then through that, the change control board for our project are the people who go through different factors. They are the ones who are representing the business units, any other stakeholders on the project. So they have the authority to make these decisions. So it takes the pressure off the project manager so that they don't have to decide which one of these wins. If you're looking for a tool that
Okay, thank you very much for watching this movie. In the next movie, we continue to talk about the other steps and starting with key scenarios. Thank you.